Well, Mark, 1-1 draw then against Woking. Were you relatively happy with that?
Yeah, we were. Gary and myself we felt a bit for the lads after the game. We thought we did enough out of the two teams to probably take all 3 points. Thought first half especially, we could have easily come in 2 or 3 up at half time. Should have maybe as well. Hughesy scores a good goal, and we miss a couple of good chances. I think we created a lot. We penned them in first half, and in all fairness to them, they came back at us second half and had a 20-minute spell where at the end of that spell we thought we'd weathered the storm, and then we switch off for one set piece and they score, but then made a few changes, put some fresh legs in there, and we got back in the game again. And their keepers made a fantastic save from Danny right towards the end of the game, and it just wasn't to be on the day. But I don't think anyone could fault the effort and the endeavour from the boys.
I suppose quite a few plus points to take from that, not least of which you mentioned it already. Lee Hughes gets his first league goal.
Yeah, there was loads of plus points in it, and it actually, I said it at half time to the boys. It makes a change to come in and not have to have an inquest at half time, and to come in and actually say, you know what, well done, pat on the back, keep the foot down, because we haven't actually been able to do that for the last few games. As everyone probably knows, our first half performances haven't been good enough. But yeah, we were on Saturday definitely, and yeah, like you say, Hughesy, I think it was a thorn in their side the whole afternoon. He tired towards the end of the game, hence why we brought him off after about 80 minutes. But he gave us his all, and considering the guy hasn't played for so many weeks, he was outstanding.
As you say, you got a much better overall performance against Woking. Are you able to put your finger on what the difference was? Is it because you freshened the squad up a little bit?
I think it is. Yeah, we've made a few signings of late. The 3 up top have all made their home debuts. So they were all energetic and they were on the move and they were lively, and it just spurs everybody on. And I said it again at half time, when you see the likes of Josh Gowling and Jamie Grimes just coming banging headers straight back from where they've come from, it kicks everybody on. And it's not always a goal that lifts you in a game. It can be a crunching tackle or someone just going winning a really big header. Anything like that can just motivate everybody else to just up it that little bit more.
We've mentioned the front players. Obviously, Josh Gowling, having him back is a big plus at the heart of the defence.
Yeah, Josh was outstanding, as was Grimesy, and he's a leader for us. He doesn't necessarily rant and rave at everybody, but he leads by example, definitely. And considering, he'll admit it himself, in the week against Starbridge away, he had a pretty poor game by his standards. But I think that was just him getting the rustiness out that he'd been out for so long. And then putting a performance like that on Saturday is what Josh is all about, and that's why we miss him when he doesn't play.
On to this weekend, and you're at Nuneaton, who of course have had a tough season so far, so you'll be going there looking to take full advantage, really. Yeah,
we will, and obviously when we played them here not so long ago, we were comfortable winners, in all fairness. Liam Daish has obviously taken the job on. He's been there a few months now, and I would imagine he's finding it quite difficult. They can't seem to get out of the slump. So we need to go there full of confidence that we need to come home with the 3 points. If we're going to do anything and kick on this year, we need to go to Nuneaton and win on Saturday.
I was going to make the point without in any way being disrespectful to Nuneaton. It is the sort of game you've got to be looking to win.
No, exactly. If we've got aspirations of getting into the playoffs, we need to go and win on Saturday. No doubt about it.
Has it surprised you that they're down there?
Nothing surprises me about this league anymore, to be honest. It's probably been... Well, I had this conversation with a few people, to be honest. Is the league weaker this year, or is it that just most of the teams have caught up with each other? Is it just a little bit more evenly spread across the team, so on any day anyone can beat anyone, whereas in the past there's always been your dominant sides that have just walked all over maybe some of the part-time teams or whatever, but that doesn't seem to have happened anymore. The teams have seemed to have found a level a little bit, and that's why I think the season's panned out the way it has. So I'm not surprised where most of the teams are, if I'm honest with you. I think it's been a little bit, other than Barnet and Bristol, they're the ones who have been a little bit more consistent, and Mac, a little bit more consistent than everybody else, but not a lot more consistent.
What was the answer to your sort of questions yourself? Do you think the league is weaker overall, or do you think...
No, I think it's just levelled itself out a little bit. So the teams each individual team has got stronger, so you don't go to places anymore and go, we'll beat these today. that doesn't happen. I mean, it's always tough in the conference, and I always say, you know, no games are a given, no team will roll over for you, but there was always that little bit of, you know, I remember when I was playing in the Wrexham team that got 98 points, we used to stand in the tunnel and, you know, I would, without a question of a doubt, stand there and think, it's not, we're going to win today. I just knew it, whereas that seems to have all come to a little bit of a level playing field a little bit this season.
You've obviously got the scope now within the squad, certainly up front, to switch things around a little bit. Are you likely to do that over the rest of the season? Keep people fresh?
We'll just have to look at personnel, and you know, Hughes is 38, you know, and bless the guy, he runs around like a 14-year-old, but there is only so much your body can take when you get older, so we'll have to manage him accordingly. But hey, whoever's doing the job up there, you know, Danny Wright looks lively, looks a threat. You know, could have easily had 2 goals. His disallowed goal on Saturday, I didn't see a foul in there. The man who counts did, but and a great save from the keeper at the end. He could have come away with 2 goals and probably MOM, but as it happens, he didn't. But he's in there and he's in around the goals, and he's been a thorn in the side for most of the teams we've played against so far. So you got the likes of him. You've got Dominic Knowles, who's a different player. He's lively. He's always on the move. He's clever. He more than anything passes the ball into the net. You won't really see him strike a ball and try and take the leather off it. He'll pick his spot and he'll pass it in the bottom corners. And then Hughes is just your all-round striker. I think you can clearly see that from the time the limited time he's had on the pitch for us. You know, Stourbridge and on Saturday he was magnificent.
Final points. Any injuries to worry about?
No, we're good. We're so far so good. This week we're okay. So we've had a tough week of training, prepping for Saturday.